Hello everyone. Welcome to this session on how to build infrastructure as a code to manage Citrix ADC autoscale groups using ADM Cloud Service. Myself Gururaj, Tilak, and Bibav from the Unified Cloud Engineering team in Citrix will present on how we have built DevOps infrastructure by defining it as a code and leveraging ADM APIs. This is a short disclaimer about the content presented in this session. So this is an overall agenda of this session. We have split this presentation into three sections. Section 1 gives an overview of the DevOps infrastructure and how we have used Citrix ADC and ADMs. We will also cover details on the infrastructure as a code, the language choices, and the pipeline. Section 2, covered by Tilak, explores on the autoscale group deployment workflow. This section explores in depth our infrastructure as a code and how we have automated the different stages required to bring up an autoscale group. Section 3, covered by Bibav, digs deeper into the ADM APIs. This section explores our ADM APIs and how any developer can automate the Citrix ADC autoscale group deployment and configuration. Some of you might be already aware of Citrix ADCs and Citrix ADM products. This is a short introduction. Citrix ADC is an application delivery controller that provides load balancing capabilities to enhance server performance, performs server offloading, and ensures that applications are always available. ADC also has layer 7 WAF capabilities and prevention against DDoS attacks. While Citrix ADM is a centralized management solution for ADCs. With Citrix ADM, you can manage different form factors of Citrix ADCs, such as MPX, VPX, etc. And also Citrix ADM is capable of managing other Citrix products, such as Citrix Gateway, Citrix Web Application Firewall. Citrix ADM is available as a cloud service and is offered through Citrix Cloud. Now let's talk about why we need Citrix ADC and ADM in our DevOps infrastructure and how we have used it. Our team is attempting to build a DevOps infrastructure to secure different apps that are behind Kubernetes clusters, AWS NLB, and Azure LB. Hence, we required a common ingress that has layer 7 capabilities and should be efficient against DDoS attacks and other security attacks. The layer 7 ingress needs to be exposed to internet and apps needs to be secured on a private network. Citrix ADC VPXs suited our requirement since they are available on different public clouds. Due to the scale involved in handling ingress traffic, we selected Citrix ADC autoscale groups. Now let's look at the traffic flow in this setup. We have Citrix autoscale groups on both AWS and also on Azure. When a user wants to connect to any app, the layer 7 ingress in AWS or in the Azure picks up the internet traffic. It applies the layer 7 web application firewall and DDoS policies, performs SSL offloading, and then sends the traffic over the private secure network to the app. The traffic reaches the application. Our DevOps infrastructure also uses Citrix SD-WAN virtual appliances to connect across different cloud providers. Citrix SD-WAN are beyond the scope of this presentation, and hence we will skip into the details of it. We have a large scale of around 30 Citrix ADC clusters and each running around 30 Citrix ADC instances. That's around 900 Citrix ADCs in our infrastructure. Provisioning and managing this large scale of Citrix ADCs would be very challenging. Hence, we selected Citrix ADM Cloud Service for it. And Citrix ADM Cloud Service manages all our Citrix ADC autoscale groups, the entire life cycle of it, provisioning, management, and the life cycle of the autoscale groups is taken care by the Citrix ADM service. And the configuration of these autoscale groups is handled through the Citrix ADM agents, which are located in the different clouds, AWS or Azure in this case. The apps are exposed on Citrix ADCs, which act as a layer 7 ingress, and the app exposure is again through the Citrix ADM cloud service style books. So hence, all of the above that we discussed is through code, and there is no manual intervention in this infrastructure. Now let's go to the interesting part of how we have automated this solution. So this is a brief definition on infrastructure as a code you get from the Wikipedia. We have incorporated the basic principles for infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code needs to be declarative, needs to be that helps any developer or DevOps engineer to define the resources. It needs to have a semantic versioning as any other regular code. It should have an orchestration layer for provisioning, management, and configuration. The infrastructure as a code should be designed in such a way that the infrastructure is immutable. This means that you should be able to bring up a new infrastructure for any configuration changes. And that helps you in using some of the deployment techniques such as canary. Code needs to go through the unit test, code coverage in the CI pipeline as any other product code. The IAC should also have an automated CD. So these were some of the basic principles with which we designed our infrastructure as a code for this deployment. Now let's talk about the choices of the tools we used. We selected Terraform. Since it is a declarative, it maintains the infrastructure state, and it has a very efficient support for different cloud providers. So Terraform also has other advantages, but these were the driving factors for us in choosing the Terraform. Coming to Python, the Python has a rich set of support to interact with the APIs. In our case, we will be interacting with the ADM APIs. Retries and error handling for the APIs are also easier with Python. Also, you get a very efficient code coverage and you can validate your unit tests and measure the efficiency of your code. For source control, we use Bitbucket. JFrog is used to store our artifacts. That is, the packaging artifacts from Terraform and Python are stored in the JFrog Artifactory. Jenkins for orchestrating the pipeline, and SonarQube for the code coverage. Now this is the next slide talks about how our pipeline basically looks like. So an user basically declares his inputs through an YAML file to the pipeline, and he raises a pull request. So the source control is maintained in the Bitbucket, which hosts our Terraform and Python code. The Terraform and Python code, which is hosted in our Bitbucket, also we have a CI pipeline for this code, which ensures that the artifacts are generated as part of our CI pipeline, and they are stored in the JFrog Artifactory. Now the PR which was raised by this user, once it is approved, right, by two approvers and merged to master, it triggers automatically a Jenkins pipeline. And the Jenkins pipeline pulls the artifacts from the JFrog Artifactory. The deployment is then started, and the Citrix ADC and SD-WAN resources are deployed in AWS or Azure, and the infrastructure state of these resources are stored here. For example, in Azure, it is stored in the Azure blob, and for AWS, it is stored in the S3. So this is a brief introduction of our pipeline, which is the declarative one that starts with the user, and then the entire pipeline is completely automated with no manual intervention. And again, the infrastructure is immutable. Like when we want to make any change in the existing infrastructure, we bring up a new infrastructure as a and redirect the traffic to the new one and retire the older infrastructure. And in this way, we don't do any configurations on the existing infrastructure and thereby affecting any of the production traffic. So this is an overview of the infrastructure as a code, the guidelines in which we developed it, the use case of the Citrix ADC ADMs, and the pipeline. In the next section, Tilak will cover in depth on the autoscale group workflow and how we have automated different stages of the deployment using Terraform. Over to Tilak.
Hi everyone, I'm Tilak, working as a Cloud Ops engineer with Citrix. We are in this section 2 of this presentation now, and here I'm going to talk about the Terraform workflow of Citrix ADC autoscale group deployment using Citrix ADM APIs. I'll first walk over the steps involved in the autoscale group deployment, and then I'll show you how this is implemented in Terraform. As part of this ASG deployment, there are few resources that we create in Citrix Cloud, and these resources are used by ADM to manage the autoscale group, and few of the resources that we actually deploy in the Citrix Cloud. Before we start creating the ADM resources, there are some prerequisites that has to be created in Azure Cloud, like resource group, VNet, subnet, and respective security groups. Let me tell you how ADC uses these resources. Citrix ADC actually works with 3 different subnets. The first one is client subnet, where the virtual IPs are created, and these virtual IPs are used by clients to connect to the application. And the backend servers connected on the server side subnet using SNP IPs. And the SNP IPs are created in the server side subnet. And for the administrator to connect to the ADC, administrator uses the NSIP, and this will be created in the management subnet. This is how these 3 subnets are used. And that's the reason that we have to create these subnets and the VNets before we proceed with the ADC autoscale group deployment. Now let me walk through the ASG deployment with ADM. ADM authentication happens with Citrix Cloud Client ID and Client Secret. And then we can create the ADM site agent before the ASG deployment. Now let me tell you what is this ADM site and ADM agent and the profiles that we are creating as part of this ASG deployment workflow. ADM site is a logical grouping of the Citrix application delivery controller, and it can have several ADC instances within a site. It is based on the geographic location group, right? And ADM agent. ADM agent works as an intermediary between the ADM and the ADC instances. ADM uses this ADM agents to manage the ADC instances. And then there are few profiles, as you can see on this flowchart. There are few profiles that we create before we actually provision the ASG, like device access profile, cloud access profile, and provisioning profile for agent and provisioning profile for ASG. What is this device access profile? Device access profile is used by ADM to connect to the ADC instances. Cloud access profile is for ADM to get permission to deploy any resources to Azure Cloud. Provisioning profile is specific to the agent as well as the ASG. With provisioning profile, we pass the security group details and the subnet details along with profile tags and then instance capacity details. As part of this post call, we get a provisioning profile ID back, and we use that ID to pass to the next post call, which is ADM agent provisioning as well as actual AHD deployment provisioning post call. Without wasting much time in here, now let me quickly go to the Terraform code, and I'll show you how these resources are getting created using the Terraform code. Yeah, so this is my Terraform piece of code that is used for creating the resources that I have showed in the flowchart. As you can see, first we are logging into the ADM using the external call with Terraform. We are using the Python library to call the ADM login API, and we pass the required variables for the Python using the Terraform variables like ADM client and ADM client secret and the ADM URI, right? Next line, as you can see, we are using REST API provider. This is an external Terraform provider. We are using this for any post call implementation, like the below resources that we are creating using the REST API object provider. Site access profile and device access profiles are getting created using the REST API object, right? So yeah, so we use these REST API plugin as part of our package and uploading it to the artifact. Yeah. Then if we go further, as I was explaining on the prerequisite slides, we are also creating the security groups and the subnets, VNets, resource groups on the Azure cloud. That's the snippets that you are seeing here. And then you can also see that we are creating the provisioning profile agent first before we actually call the agent deployment ADM API, right? So this as part of this provisioning profile agent, we pass the agent instance details and the required subnet and security groups for the agent, and we get ID as a return value for this API, and we use that ID to be passed on the next API, which is actually actually deploying the agent. So ADM agent has a separate image that has to be subscribed on the Azure cloud before we actually proceed to call the provisioning ADM agent API. That is also automated using Terraform, using the Azure RM provider. As we can see here, Azure RM Marketplace Agreement resource is used, which is part of the Azure RM provider. Using this, we have automated the marketplace subscription agreement and the for both ADM agent as well as the ADC images. So by default, it uses the latest image which is available in Azure cloud for both ADC and the ADM agent. Also, we can pass the specific image version as part of the variable section. That image URN section, it's a variable. We can pass the specific image version so that image gets subscribed, and the same image will be used in the Azure cloud to deploy the ADM agent, and say for ADC image would be used on the Autoscale group deployment. Similar to the agent flow, Autoscale group deployment also has the provisioning profile first to be created, and we use the provisioning profile ID to be passed on the actual Autoscale group deployment API. You can see that we are passing access profile ID and some of the autoscale group parameters like TTL timeout, cooldown period, drain connection timeout, watch time, how long for any change on the autoscale group, how long it should be watched before making any change, like minimum nodes that could get deployed and maximum nodes, the capacity of the maximum nodes, CPU capacity, CPU threshold value. Yeah, these are the parameters that we pass as part of this autoscale group, right? Along with the provisioning profile ID and along with the agent ID as well. All of the resources that we created previously would be called inside this API, which is actually for provisioning the autoscale group. Once this API is called, this would return a autoscale group ID, autoscale group job ID. We'll be using that job ID to track our autoscale group status. As you can see that is actually again implemented in Python. We are calling that inside the our external resource, external call. On the Terraform external call, we call this provisioner as local exec, and we call the Python track ASG deployment library, and we pass the required variables for that Python using a Terraform variable, right? So once this job gets succeeded, we actually return ASG deployment status as success or failure respectively. As we are calling this external package, at the time of destroy also we have to do the similar thing. At the time of destroy, we have to track the job ID until completion of the destroy. That's the case with the ADM autoscale group deployment. Similarly, on the agent deployment, as I have showed you, agent deployment also use the data external call, right? It is used as resource null resource. It's a Terraform null resource, and we call the provisioner local exec as part of this. So for the destroy time, we have to call our own. We have to take our own call to the same Python library to delete the actual instances that was deployed. As you can see, when destroy, we call the same Python package to destroy to delete the agents. So this is the completion of my Terraform implementation way. Let me quickly show you the Terraform plan. One thing to notice here, all the required variables, all the required secrets for this Terraform is passed as an environment variable to the Terraform. When Guru was explaining in the previous section, he was going through the Jenkins workflow. So Jenkins takes care of passing these required secrets for Terraform as an environment variable, which is actually fetched from the vault, and Jenkins takes care of vault authentication and passing it to the behind Terraform, right? As you can see here, we are creating 17 resources would be created as part of this Terraform code. And you can also see that what are the resources that we are creating: site, provisioning profile agent, provisioning profile for the autoscale group, device access profile, cloud access profile, and the actual ASG. Everything would be created. In total, we are creating 17. That includes whatever we are creating as part of the Azure cloud and then the ADM cloud. Let me quickly show you the ADM cloud and the Azure cloud as well. I have already, Terraform apply takes little time, so I have already created the resources. I'll quickly show you the ADM cloud and the Azure cloud about the resources that we have that was created. All right. Yeah, you can see the page. This is the Citrix Cloud portal, and I'm in ADM service page here. If I click on this menu, you can see identity and access management. In this section, I can go ahead and create my secrets that is required for Citrix Cloud. The same secrets can be used to authenticate to the ADM, provided for my tenant, I have the ADM service subscribed, right? Also in this ADM service page, you can see I can create n number of resources here. I would be mostly interested on the autoscale group and the required resources for the autoscale group. As we can see here, sites. Sites holds the country, region, city, something which is related to the geographic, and based on the geo, it actually groups the instances, right? So you can see my resource which was created. This is my resource that I have created as part of my Terraform piece of code. Also, I can show you the agent that I have created using this. This is the agent that was created. It was showing up, and which is deployed in the Azure. Let me cross check the IP which is in Azure here, right? And this is the resource group. 1 minute. I'm going to fetch the resource group here. Yeah, here it's my resource group. And let me group it by type. Yeah, let me see the virtual machines that was created. You can see that ADC ADM agent. This is the agent that was created by ADM using the Terraform code, right? Let's cross check the IP. Yeah, 10.0.1.4, the same IP as you can see here. This was created and based on the subnet that was allocated for the ADM agent as part of my Terraform code, right? Yeah, and next let me show you the autoscale group. Autoscale group actually gets deployed in the ADM, as I was explaining you in the autoscale group deployment workflow. The group gets deployed in the ADM portal. Same way, the actual ADC instances gets deployed in the Azure. As you can cross verify that, these are the I have the minimum 2 instances. These are the 2 instances that was created as part of the autoscale group. You can see the VM name is similar with the autoscale group name. So you can go ahead and modify the configuration using this configuration section, and you can go ahead and edit the minimum maximum nodes or the config parameters for the autoscale group here. So this is the section 2 now. Now over to Bibhav for explaining the detailed ADM APIs on the section 3. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Bibhav and I have been with Citrix for the last 6+ years, and currently I contribute as a senior CloudOps engineer. In this section, we'll try to dig deeper into our problem statement of a fully automated autoscale group deployment. This section will be more focused on the code perspective and the best practices for the code to achieve our task. So let's begin. We will be deploying our autoscale group using the ADM APIs. What is ADM APIs? Think of the ADM Nitro APIs as the REST API calls that we fire to the ADM service to perform any operation. Where do we get the content for the ADM Nitro APIs? Citrix offers a good documentation over internet where we can get the information about the Nitro APIs. Also, if we just log into our Citrix Cloud account and go to the ADM service, we can get the information about the Nitro APIs. If we just go to the Help Center section, the Nitro API documentation is available in the form of SDKs in Java, C#, Python, as well as the entire API reference is also available for us to download. For the sake of this demo, we have downloaded the Nitro API reference in our local system, and we will be referencing it for deploying our autoscale group. These are the prerequisites that we need to configure on the ADM to deploy our autoscale group. In the coming sections, We will go over each one by one. So the first one is MPS data center, aka site. The theory about the data center was already covered in the last section. We will just cover how do we deploy the data center. So we can go over net and find out the details about the data center. This document explains what are the various operations that we can perform on the MPS underscore data center resource. What are the various fields that we can configure are available here. So let's do a demo to deploy a data center. For the sake of this demo, we have already established a resource group where we will be deploying our resources, and we will be doing the verification for this on the ADM portal. What you see here, I have already logged into my ADM service account, and we will be doing the deployment using the same session ID. So let's fire the call to create our data center. It will be a post call. When I fire the post call, I see that I have already received a successful 200 OK response, and we can verify that our resource is already created on the ADM portal. We can go to the sites on the network section, and we see that our site BIB Converge Demo Data Center 1 is already created. Next, we go to the access profiles. As prerequisites, we'll have to create this 4 access profile. In this demo, we'll just be covering cloud access profile and a device access profile. A sample payload for the cloud access profile will look something like this. In the cloud access profile, you tell ADM service the credentials, how can it contact your cloud provider, be it Azure or AWS, to provision resources in it. Let's do a demo for it. As you can see, I have already logged in, and we using the same session ID, we'll just fire a post call. And we'll see that we'll get a successful 200 OK response for this. Next, we will try to deploy a device access profile. Device access profile is one where you tell the ADM service the credentials using which it will bring up the instances in the cloud. So here you can see we are giving it a username and the password, something like a strong password. If I just fire a post call for this, when we'll fire the post call, we'll see that we'll get a successful response code and our device access profile will be created like here. And we can see that our device access profile BIB Converge Demo device profile is created. Similarly, we'll have to create 2 more profiles for provisioning profile for an agent and provisioning profile for the Citrix Autoscale group. Details about it can be found over internet. Next, we go to the ADM agent. ADM agent needs to be deployed as a prerequisite for Autoscale group deployment, and it can be deployed when we fire a post call on this path to the ADM service. A sample payload for the ADM agent deployment will look like this, where you give it the access profile ID and the provisioning profile ID for the agent. Let's do the demo and we'll try to deploy a sample agent. What you see here, using the session ID that we have already created, we are going to fire a post API call to deploy our agent. Let's fire it. And you can see we have fired the post API call for the agent provision, and we have already received a job ID. Now we will track this deployment using this job ID till the completion. When we fired the post API call to provision the ADM agent, ADM service started deploying an agent in our resource group, and since it takes a couple of minutes, that's why we are tracking the deployment using this job ID, and we see finally our resource is deployed, and we can see the status is completed. Let's see the status of resource on the Azure resource group. We can see that our resource BIB converge demo ADM agent is deployed with the IP 15.15.2.8. Let's verify the same on the ADM portal. If we go to the agent sections, we can see that our ADM agent is deployed. Next, we'll finally deploy our AutoScale group. So now we are at the AutoScale group deployment. Remember, at the very beginning, we downloaded the docs for AutoScale group. We will just refer it. What are the fields that we'll have to configure to deploy AutoScale group? So document clearly explains that we'll have to fire our API call on this path, and these are the fields that we need to populate to deploy our AutoScale group. Let's do a demo for this. What we have here is we'll try to deploy AutoScale group with this name, again using the same session ID that we have already created. We are also defining the parameters for the autoscaling. That is, what should be the thresholds for CPU, memory, for the ADM service to take action of autoscaling up or down. Let's fire the call. So what we see here is we have already fired the post API call, and in response we'll get one activity ID. Just like the ADM agent, ADM service will try to deploy instances in Citrix Cloud for us. We will track the deployment of AutoScale group using this activity ID. Since again it may take a couple of minutes, so we'll continue to track this deployment using this activity ID. So let's track it. What we see here is finally our AutoScale group is deployed. We see the status is completed. So let's verify the deployment first on the on the resource group. So we see it has brought up a virtual machine for our AutoScale group, and the AutoScale group is also available for us for the verification on the ADM portal. We can see that BIB Converge demo AutoScale group is already deployed. Next, we'll try to do some app configuration on the deployed AutoScale group. So app configuration can be done by the ADM provided stylebook infrastructure. Details of the stylebook infra will not can be found out on the internet. So what we see here in this demo, we have an application. Call it a simple HTTP application running on this IP. This being an HTTP application, what we want is a front end to be configured for this. And for this, we are deploying an application on the AutoScale group. This we are doing using a stylebook infrastructure. So ADM provides multiple stylebooks. We are using this stylebooks. The stylebooks can be, we can always use the ADM provided stylebook, or we can also write our own custom stylebook. Let's fire an API call for this. It will be a post API call, and the app name that we are creating is this. So what we see here is when we fire the post API call, we get a successful response code, and in the response, we get this activity ID. Just like the ADM agent and the AutoScale group, we will use the deployment till the completion using this activity ID. So let's track it. What we see here is our app deployment is complete. It can be seen here, and the same app that we deployed, BIB Converge. So if you remember, the app that we deployed was BIB Converge Demo v3, and we can verify that the same app is available for us on the ADM portal under the configuration section, BIB Converge Demo v3. Next, the code best practices. Let's face it, the entire deployment pipeline has so many pieces involved. We have ADM service, we have our cloud providers, Azure and AWS, we have Terraform, we have Python, and we have internet. So things may go wrong. As part of the code best practices, we have these things involved in our pipeline. To begin with, we have unit tests written for our code. Also, we ensure handling the error response codes and some other error scenarios that can have those scenarios can be like retrying logic, handling possible timeouts, and handling invalid inputs. And last, in case of a failed deployment, cleaning up the resources on your cloud provider. Last section, monitoring of Citrix Autoscale Group. Citrix offers us an open source GitHub project that we are using in our pipeline for deployment. Details of this GitHub project can be found if we just Google this Citrix ADC Matrix Exporter. The first link that comes up is the GitHub project that we are referring to. This GitHub project, which is our monitoring solution, can be used in multiple form factors. It can be a standalone Python script, a Docker container, or a Kubernetes environment solution. Since we deploy multiple autoscale group, in our pipeline, we are using the monitoring solution as a Kubernetes environment in the form of Kubernetes available solution. This concludes the section 3. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Hope you had a good understanding on how we have built infrastructure as a code with Citrix ADCs and ADMs. If you have any queries, we will be available during the Citrix Converge on November 2. Thanks for your interest in Citrix Converge and have a great day.